In this video I'll try to find the craziest resource packs to play in Minecraft. I will consider both the simple change of black textures and incredible curvatures of space that amaze the imagination. And at the end I'll show you just a mind-blowing option for true hardcore gamers. Surely you'll feel better if you don't look at it. Let's start with something simpler. For example, with a little troll texture pack. Do you see these diamonds? They are so pleasantly beckoning and with their blue color, it makes me want to get them. But unfortunately it turned out that these weren't diamonds at all, but just the most common lichen. This is what a cave looks without texture pack, and this is what it looks with it. Try to tell the difference between real loot and fake one. However, there's still one peculiarity of this case. In normal game it's rare to find ore in the dirt. But in some ways it's even an advantage. You can make a diamond tree, a diamond wool, a diamond house, and the main thing is to have enough imagination. The following texture pack will help you a lot during hardcore survival, because it makes all creepers invisible. Now the walking bombs won't just be silent, they'll be stealthy, which means they blow up more asses. Suppose you're digging in a cave and see diamonds on the floor. Well, of course it would be a sin not to get them, after all you didn't come here for nothing. Come down and there's a welcoming squad of 100 other kamikazes waiting for you. Isn't that nice? But that's not all good news. Do you know why? Because charged creepers are also completely invisible. If you happen to be outside during a thunderstorm, my advice to you is turn off a game and never enter this world again. This is what a true masterpiece of abstractionism looks like, and at the same time one of the best resource pack to discourage playing Minecraft. I entered the world and there was a beautiful something waiting for me from above, going up higher and eventually reaching this colored shell, which turns out to be easy to walk through. It was only after a few minutes I realized that it wasn't a sky at all, but only a most ordinary cloud. Instead, the sky itself is so day and so night, it's perfect. Some blocks have changed their color to another, but it's still forgivable and too shallow for this project, so I won't focus on it. But many others have become really beautiful and not at all horrible. For example, this is what cobblestone and bricks look like. All kinds of wood are now truly expressive and special. Now it's easy to recognize an acacia from a birch, and a spruce with dark oak don't look like each other anymore. Moreover, all their derivatives have also been changed. From now on, fancy stairs, slabs, even pressure plates with bottoms will be so wonderful that it makes me want to close my eyes. Thanks to these innovations, villages in Minecraft are quite transformed and now look like this. In my opinion, it is impossible to imagine a better one. There is one more thing that I didn't show you, and it's lava. What color do you think it'll be? This, or this? Whichever option you choose, you'll be right. It looks different depending on what point in time you look at it. And the funny thing is, you know what? Yeah, lava blends are far from always same. That is, theoretically you could make each block flash in random order. Did you think it was all? So it's not. The lighting system also has been modified. Now the torches simply change color of all blocks around them. Well, not just the torches, of course. This is what happens when I get close to a light source. What's more, I myself have superpowers to change my coloration like a chameleon. Now I suggest combining all things we've talked about before. The lava changes color for cobblestone, which was already multicolored. It's just amazing. Better yet, do the tricks with planks. They were already different, but with this addition you can achieve a delightful variety. However, if that's still not enough for you, I have one last trap up sleeve. All I have to do is enter this command and you'll feel the full power of this resource pack. You don't believe me? Okay, you asked, enjoy it. As the author said, the rain is pain. On that great note, let's end this part of video and move on to things that can warp space and just do all sorts of crazy stuff. To begin with, let me show you this scene. All space farther than 5 blocks from me in any direction descends to a few meters. It creates a funny illusion, as if I am making everything around me in a small radius go up. However, this has nothing to do with reality. In fact, the world is just as normal as it was, only how I see it changes. After running around, I realized that such changes can make a game quite difficult for following reasons. First of all, shooting and hitting with a bow will obviously not be easier now, because location of a target is distorted and it won't be easy to aim accurately. Especially when it can interfere in the underworld when fighting the dragon. It's not only harder to hit crystals now, it's also harder to hurt the boss. Secondly, you may not see something important right in front of your nose, as nearest raised blocks obstruct part of the world. For instance, a creeper comes toward me for one side. I can notice him if he's far away or close to me, but not at this distance. And third, the whole thing interacts pretty badly with blocks that are above my current location. Here's a look at the horror that happens when I walk near a tree. The most fun to run in a cave with this resource pack. I think you can see why. By the way, ores will be harder to find here too. But luckily I also have an improved version. In it, all that space outside my square doesn't just go down, it simply disappears. All the previous points of course are multiplied, and how you will now defeat the dragon is a big mystery to me. But especially fun happens in the cave when some smeared walls appear around you. It looks pathetic, but for us today the worse the better. Speaking of which, you can forget about fighting with Blaze, now it won't be a duel, but a regular shooting on the spot. I think it's safe to say that of all texture packs, this will definitely be one of the most difficult, but still not the craziest, because there are better candidates for this position. In the next one I decided to play with spatial directions a bit. As a result, this is the picture I got. The further away blocks are from me, the more they stretch out, and objects in X coordinate are elongated in their own direction, and at Z coordinate in the other. Blocks on the diagonal are stretched in all directions at once, and this is the result. I'll note right away that this whole scene is bugged and is displayed unclear how. I set rendering in 20 chunks, but at the same time I see, well, maximum 5. If I run in a straight line to one side, it looks as if I'm running very fast, but everything changes if I do the same diagonally. Buildings change their forms depending on what position I look at them. One part may be too thin, while other parts may be too big. Don't forget that the same works for Y coordinate, that is, the stretching occurs in height as well, although because of the previous two directions it's not so noticeable. In addition, if you don't turn off clouds, they will be visible even underground. I don't know the reason, but I guess it's necessary, maybe I just get superpowers. And all in all, yeah, purely for fun I can watch it, but I wouldn't play with it. Over time my eyes and brain start to hurt. So this retrospect warps space at a certain distance away from the player in any direction. By and large, the farther away a block is, the more it rises and changes its angle, bending over the horizon. It has an interesting effect, as if the whole world were inside a ball and I was running around on the inside of its shell. Although, if it were a real ball, of course, running that way would sooner or later return me from the opposite direction, which doesn't really happen. Like previous ones, the current pack is a bit broken and may not always display chunks correctly. If I look up, all distant biomes immediately disappear. But it's very comfortable to play with it. You can even say that it's a kind of cheat, because it allows the player to see what he wouldn't normally be able to. So, for example, it's easier to see a new village or a deserted temple before anyone else. This is especially useful for finding structures in the jungle, as there are many obstacles. However, this ability is no use in the nether or a cave. There the horizon is rarely clear, making it difficult to take advantage of it. In the underworld it will also not be very cool, because almost no obstacles in front of player eyes and any buildings are quickly found. By reducing distortion power, I got probably one of the most comfortable options for common play of Minecraft. It keeps all pluses while almost completely eliminating disadvantages, except the problem of disappearing chunks. And here is the beefed up version, where literally in 100 blocks the world is already absolutely going upward. Here I was able to get a very unusual result when shooting above. If I just shoot somewhere underneath me or upwards, the result will be standard. But I can hover over to the side and it looks as if an arrow is flying straight ahead almost the whole time. This is how it would look from a side of projectile. It's funny how just changing position completely changes the picture of what's going on. And here's a resource pack that is essentially opposite to the previous one. The same warping of space happens here, only in the reverse direction. You'd think I would be on a planet right now, when in fact that's not what actually happened. Walking on the ground over time, you start to like this kind of update, even though it makes the game more difficult. Just running around the world, I noticed that somewhere far away on the horizon all sorts of mountains or buildings are formed and first to appear as their upper parts. Rendering is not important here, because anyway we can see what is on other side of the ball, whatever graphics settings would not have been set. If I go higher, of course, I can see more, especially when it comes to something big. However, I can assure you that it doesn't help anyone much. I also allowed myself to play with degree of warp and finally made a super small planet. I think the result is similar to this, only it looks better in every way. To me, even a simple village now looks very impressive, which cannot fail to please. By the way, if anyone is interested, the caves in this version look like this. I would say unusual. And if I combine both of the previous options and make land go over the horizon first and then appear. Sounds intriguing. So let's get 100 million likes and I will release the second, wait, okay, why I need to postpone? Here you go, have fun, a double version for my lovers of the most unconventional things. All in all it looks pretty crazy and you might have already thought it was the end. Stop, they can see length of the video. Anyway, I saved the best one for last, but keep in mind that if your brain breaks down after what you've seen, it's not my fault. Here it is, the 8th wonder of the world and at the same time the craziest resource pack to play in Minecraft. Just so you understand, this is how a village on the plane now looks. Well, let's go through it in order. The first thing to look at is my character's hand. It looks as if it has a life of its own from now on. Other parts of the body are also twisted, legs can appear on top of the head, everything rotates in a random order, perfect in a word. Okay, let's move on. Blocks here can disappear, shrink or stretch. In general there is complete anarchy, where each object decides for itself what it will be now. But look how you will see a wall behind which bed stand. Yes, that's behind the wall, not in front of it. If anything, here's the usual view. I checked the inventory, it's looking pretty good. Anyway, I need an oak tree sprout, I just wanna find it now. It's the most basic tree, but I can't even figure out how tall it is and why I can't go under it. Ah, okay, I got it. No, well, just look at this, it's only a sticky piece and a lever. I activate it and I don't even know how to describe what I saw. Now we'll visit our village again and take a look at some great innovations. First, I suggest that you guess if there is vegetation in this garden or not. If your answer is yes, you are absolutely right, it's simply more hidden and harder to see now. Again, what do you think is width of the road here? That's right, 3 blocks, well done, you're very observant. How many floors does this house have? Think about it again, here's a hint for you. Great, the correct answer is 2 levels. And let's have the last one. How many diamonds are there? Oh, come on, look closer, the answer is right in front of you. No, that's not right, there are 8 diamond blocks in total, I don't know how you didn't notice them. It's a special experience to aim and shoot above right now. I take the object, pull on the bowstring and shoot, of course I hit right on target. Don't you get it? Okay, let me show you a few more times. You just take it, shoot it and the arrow goes straight to your target. Alright, at the end I'll show you what a normal world looks like. Here is a beautiful landscape with a river and a forest. I'll go lower so you can see better. By the way, did you know it turns out that the wall texture of ship is on top of the body texture? I used to think they were just different ship models. Here is a mine with a cave which is inhabited by not the friendliest mobs. However, to see and recognize them now is not always easy. And that's how the ice peaks look like from interesting scenes. They stick out and retract into themselves quite unusually, and water with blocks become either high and lower than ice. Here I think we can end our search for the craziest resource packs in Minecraft. Thanks for watching and remember guys, Zillennium doesn't say farewell, Zillennium says bye.